featuring Milo the Sleepy Mouse on his quest for peaceful slumber. Milo the Sleepy Mouse. Deep within the cozy walls of an old farmhouse, the pantry shelves, lived behind a family of mice. Among them was Milo, the smallest mouse, with soft gray fur and ears that were a bit too big for his head. Milo was known for one thing: he loved to sleep. He could curl up in a warm patch of sunlight or burrow into a pile of dried leaves and drift off without a care in the world. But lately, Milo had a problem. His older brother Max snored like a thunderstorm. Every night, the moment Milo closed his eyes, Max's loud snores filled their tiny home. It didn't matter if Milo covered his ears with his paws or burrowed deeper into the mouse hole. Nothing helped. "Max!" Milo squeaked one morning after another restless night. "Do you have to snore so loudly? I didn't sleep a wink." Max, who was munching on a crumb of cheese, grinned sheepishly. "Sorry, Milo, I can't help it. Maybe try sleeping in a different spot." Milo sighed. He loved his home, but he couldn't go another night without sleep. So he decided to set off on a quiet adventure to find the perfect place to rest: the moonlit garden. That evening, as the other mice settled in for the night, Milo packed a small bundle with a piece of cheese, a scrap of bread, and a soft patch of fluff to use as a pillow. With the moonlight guiding his way, he slipped out of the mouse hole and into the garden. The garden was a magical place at night. The flowers swayed gently in the cool breeze, and the air was filled with the soft hum of crickets. Milo found a spot beneath a tall sunflower. Its wide leaves formed a little canopy, shielding him from the cool dew. "This is perfect," Milo whispered to himself as he snuggled into the soft grass. But just as he was about to drift off, a loud hoo-hoo startled him awake. Milo peeked out from under the sunflower and saw a great owl perched on a nearby branch, its golden eyes glowing in the dark. "You there, little mouse," the owl hooted. "What are you doing out here in the garden?" "I'm trying to sleep," Milo replied, his voice trembling slightly. "But my brother's snoring is too loud, so I'm looking for a quiet place." The owl tilted its head. "The garden may seem peaceful, but it's not the safest place for a mouse at night. Perhaps you should try the barn." Milo nodded, thanked the owl, and scampered off toward the barn, his heart thudding in his chest. The cozy barn. The barn was warm and filled with the sweet smell of hay. Milo climbed up a stack of straw bales and found a soft, quiet corner. The straw felt cozy beneath him, and the barn's wooden beams seemed to hum a gentle lullaby. "This will do," Milo thought as he curled up on his makeshift bed. But just as he was about to fall asleep, a loud moo echoed through the barn. Milo sat up, startled. He looked down and saw a cow chewing her cud below. "Sorry, little one," the cow said. "Did I wake you?" "Yes," Milo admitted. "I was hoping the barn would be quieter." The cow chuckled softly. "The barn is rarely quiet. The horses shuffle in their stalls, the chickens cluck in their sleep, and I sometimes dream about the meadow and moo without realizing it. Perhaps you'd have better luck near the pond." Milo sighed but thanked the cow for her advice. He climbed down from the straw bales and headed toward the pond, the moonlight reflecting on the barn's red roof behind him. The pond was surrounded by cattails and shimmering fireflies. Milo found a patch of moss near the water's edge and lay down. The gentle croaking of frogs and the rustle of reeds in the breeze made him feel calm and sleepy. "This is perfect," Milo thought. "I'll finally get some rest." But just as his eyes began to close, a loud splash startled him awake. Milo looked up to see a family of ducks paddling across the pond. "Who's there?" One of the ducks quacked, flapping her wings. "It's just me, Milo," he replied. "I'm trying to sleep." The duck waddled over to the mossy patch. "The pond is lovely, but it's never quiet for long. We ducks paddle around, the frogs croak all night, and sometimes the fish leap out of the water. Maybe you should try the orchard." Milo thanked the duck, though his whiskers drooped with disappointment. He picked up his little bundle and trudged toward the orchard, hoping this time he would find a truly peaceful spot. The Whispering Orchard. The orchard was beautiful, with rows of apple trees standing tall under the starlit sky. Milo climbed into the crook of a tree and nestled among the soft blossoms. The cool night breeze carried the sweet scent of ripe apples, and the branches swayed gently like a cradle. "This is it," Milo thought, a yawn escaping him. "This is where I'll finally get a good night's sleep." But just as he was drifting off, a loud whoosh of wind shook the tree. Milo clung to the branch as apples thudded to the ground around him. "Oh dear," came a tiny voice from below. Milo peeked down and saw a field mouse gathering fallen apples. "Sorry about the noise. The wind gets quite strong in the orchard at night." Milo sighed. "I just want to find a quiet place to sleep." The field mouse looked sympathetic. "Have you tried the meadow? It's wide and open, and the grass is as soft as a pillow." Milo nodded, thanked the field mouse, and climbed down from the tree. His paws were beginning to ache, and he was feeling very, very tired. The quiet meadow. The meadow was vast and peaceful, bathed in the silver light of the moon. Milo found a soft patch of clover and lay down, his little bundle tucked under his head. The grass whispered softly in the breeze, and the distant chirping of crickets was soothing. "This has to be the place," Milo murmured. His eyes grew heavy, and he felt himself drifting off. But just as he was about to fall asleep, a soft rustling in the grass startled him. Milo sat up, his heart racing, and saw a family of rabbits hopping nearby. "Hello," said one of the rabbits, her nose twitching. "What brings you to the meadow?" "I'm trying to find a quiet place to sleep," Milo explained. "But everywhere I go, there's too much noise." The rabbit smiled kindly. "Sometimes the quietest places are the ones we carry with us. Have you tried listening to your own heart?" Milo frowned. "My own heart?" The rabbit nodded. "Will you close your eyes and focus on the sound of your heartbeat? Let it guide you to sleep." Milo was skeptical, but he was also very tired. He lay back down, closed his eyes, and took a deep breath. At first, all he could hear was the rustling of the grass, but as he focused, he began to hear the steady rhythm of his heartbeat. It was soft and comforting, like a lullaby just for him. Home again. As Milo listened to his heartbeat, he felt a sense of calm wash over him. The noises of the world faded away, and before he knew it, he was fast asleep. When he woke up, the sun was just beginning to rise, painting the sky in shades of pink and gold. Milo stretched and yawned. He felt more rested than he had in days. Gathering his little bundle, he made his way back home, where his family was just waking up. "Where have you been?" Max asked, looking concerned. "On an adventure," Milo replied with a smile. "But I realized something important. Sometimes the peace we're looking for is already inside us." From that night on, Milo didn't mind Max's snoring as much. Whenever the noise grew too loud, he would close his eyes, focus on his heartbeat, and let it carry him to sleep. And in the quiet moments before dawn, when the world was still and peaceful, Milo would dream of sunlit meadows, whispering orchards, and the soft rhythm of his own heart. The end.